We've said that this is a David and Goliath situation. It's even been seen as a sort of grassroots activist movement against Wall Street, and is drawing parallels with the protest movement Occupy Wall Street. Now, do you think that's a fair comparison?
Absolutely. I mean, we've never seen millions of small investors gang up against Wall Street. If you think of short selling, right, it's usually a zero-sum game. Someone loses, someone wins. Oftentimes we see Wall Street winning, and in this episode, the small investors actually have won. So it's really fascinating what just happened this week.
And so with Reddit and other social media platforms, Twitter as well is involved, they're playing a more central role in financial markets all of a sudden. So what does that mean for Wall Street and the investment world in general in the future?
I mean, we've seen basically these social media platforms really kind of wreak havoc on all aspects of social lives, and I think now they're getting at Wall Street. I don't think we can regulate, or we could worry about Wall Street being regulated that way through the social media platforms, but I think there is a regulation that's going to come to the social media platforms, and people should be able to discuss stocks. But I think manipulating markets is not something they should be able to do, and I think that's what's happened.
And so do you think that lawmakers will respond to this as a result? Will there be tighter regulation from lawmakers, from the White House even?
A lot of politicians have already came out, and they already come against Robinhood, who basically restricted some trading, which they probably should not have done. Robinhood makes most of their money by selling data to Wall Street. So I think there is some issues there. I think there's going to be some regulations around short selling. And then we also know that there's going to be some regulations for social media in general about speech and ways that they can discuss things. But almost certainly we're going to see some backlash from either the White House or the SEC, and especially towards Robinhood, which is really a platform that's kind of not following the rules. And I think that's really the biggest problem is the rules are there. They just need to be able to follow them. And that's where we see the regulation come down on them.
OK, now you said something there about how Robinhood makes its money through Wall Street and how we may see extra restrictions on Wall Street as a result of that. Now, is Robinhood standing to gain from this current situation? Like, we talked about this being a David and Goliath situation, and how the small people are winning. But actually, is Robinhood and these trading platforms, are they winning as well?
Well, Robinhood was the #1 downloaded app on the App Store yesterday, so they're definitely winning. But what the irony in the whole thing is Robinhood portrays themselves as the small investors tool, right? It's where they go and trade. However, how Robinhood makes money, 100% of their revenue comes from them selling their data to Wall Street. So actually, the real customer is not the trader, it's not the small investor, is actually Wall Street. So when people think it's free, it's actually not free. There is such a conflict of interest there, and I think this episode is probably going to shed some light on that whole transfer of funds. And frankly, that should not be the case.